Hello, YouTube. Hello, everybody. How's your evening? How's your day go? I had another beautiful day. I'm in a good mood. So I'm just coming in as usual to report some news. Some news that's selected. That would probably make a difference. News that's interesting. That's what I try to reach for. For the channel. And I just want to be sure that everyone is entertained with different stories that I do report on the news. Okay, so today I had a good day today. I had got hooked up with an old friend. That we haven't seen each other for a little while, and we were talking and talking and talking. We talked for like 2 hours. And so that feels pretty good, because she's my best friend, and I haven't seen her for a little while. So hopefully we get to run into each other. It's not often you find somebody that you really like from a friendship. By the time you get up in age between 30 and 35, pretty much you should have a selection, of friends, people that, you depend on and they depend on you, and you trust them, they trust you, So it's just kind of funny to have a friend, that you don't trust, that you question, whether she's telling a lie or not. You know what I mean? I had a girlfriend like that before. It used to lie like a rug, but I loved her just the same. So, all right, just a little talk. Sorry. Okay, we're going to get started with the news. I have good news all the time. So I'm looking for you guys to subscribe and hit the like button, okay? All right, so let's get started with the news, all right? Okay, all right, hold on just a second. I'll put my glasses on. Okay. All right, we have a good selection. Excuse me. All right. Water. Okay, so let's get started with the first story. Okay, now my first story is going to be about Whoopi Goldberg facing health crisis. This story is by Griffin, excuse me, Mattis. Okay, now the View host appearance was fearful for the actress of hair loss. She's losing her hair. A few of her locks actually fell out. On the sides of her head is really bad. It's bad. It looks bad. Her head and her scalp. Okay. Now she has no eyebrows. She's taken a radiation, I guess chemotherapy. Okay, the doctor who has never treated Whoopi said that her admitted drug abuse, and smoking could have resulted in organ damage that may cause her hair to fall out. Okay. All right, here's another story. Okay, now mother finds our mother finds an unexplainable scar and bruises on her 8-month-old son's face. She decided to put him in a daycare. So the daycare worker, she runs as soon as the parents watch the daycare surveillance video. Okay, this story is by Alex Tuchel. Okay, now, what happened was the baby was abused. He had a long scar. He was fine before daycare. He was absolutely fine before daycare. The mother demanded to see the surveillance tapes to see. They tried to tell her that another child did that. And she says, no, this is abuse. An adult did this. So he was bleeding. His face was swollen. His eyes were bloodshot. And his neck and head were bruised. Child abuse, the mother said. The mother saw the video footage of her child being abused. She beat my child. She struck him multiple times. And his injuries, he has injuries to the head. The cops were called. Okay, and now the daycare center waited 2 hours for some reason to call the mother. Okay, the girl, her name is E. Hall, was going to be arrested, but she left. She fled the daycare. E. Hall, and a few days later, she decided to turn herself in. They asked the community to help in locating her. Okay, so that's child abuse, and you know what I mean? Why would she do that to somebody's child? That's crazy. If you don't want to work with kids, you shouldn't be working with kids if you're a child abuser, what could a baby at the daycare could have done other than need their pamper change, cry a little, give them a bottle and go to the next baby, make sure nobody's, messed up or hurt, but to go and just hurt the child, hit the child. I mean, who do you think you are? She's lucky it wasn't my child. All right, now here's an update. Okay, two charged with the killing of a Massachusetts man. His name is Roman. Roman was found in a burning car in Hartford. Okay, now what happened was Brandon Putis and Calvin Robertson faced federal charges, including kidnapping, resulting in the death of Putis. Was arrested in Athens, Georgia, and Robertson was arrested in Waterbury. So they ran. Okay, both are detained. They're accused of abducting Francisco Roman Jr. on December 24th. His body was found in the back of a 2010 Acura 2 days after firefighters in Hartford put out a blaze that engulfed the car. Autopsy determined that he was shot to death, and then they burnt the car. They've been watching too much TV. Okay, now a man arrested in New Haven for not wearing his mask. Violating state executive's order. Police say that the man entered the lobby of the New Haven Superior Court house on Elm Street. This is by Fox 61. Okay, state troopers were told 36-year-old Pedro Barrero had entered a courthouse without a mask, they charged him with violating a breach of peace in the second degree. He was released on bond. He goes back to court March 12th, okay? Man charged in a deadly Halloween stabbing in Hartford. Okay, this is also by Fox 61. On Sunday, February 7th, detectives obtained an arrest warrant for 34-year-old O'Neill Lewis on Maple Avenue, a stabbing that took place. A male victim, later identified as a 48-year-old Brian Moreau of Manchester, was located with multiple stab wounds. Okay? He had succumbed to his injuries at Hartford Hospital. Lewis was already taken into custody in relation to a separate incident. He was charged with on one count of murder in the first degree and one count of conspiracy to commit murder. He remains in custody and he's on $1 million bond. So that's good. I hope they work it out where he can get several years in prison, okay? Now, a Hartford man charged with attempted murder in a weekend shooting. Okay, now Deshaun Walton, a 20-year-old, was arrested for attempted murder charges on Thursday. His bond was set at $2 million. He's charged with attempted murder, first-degree assault, criminal possession of a pistol, and no permit to carry. He didn't have a permit to even carry that pistol, okay? This was by Mike Crawford. Okay, a man broke into a Hamden home and sexually assaulted a child. This is in Hamden, Connecticut. WFSB. Okay, in New Haven, there's a man facing charges after he was allegedly sexually assaulting a young child. New Haven police was called to the home on February 6th. 37-year-old Antoine Darden broke into the home and sexually abused a young child while the family was asleep. The child was taken out to the local hospital for treatment. Darden is a registered sex offender in the first degree. So what is he? First degree sexual assault, home invasion, and risk of injury to a minor. He was held on a $500,000 bond and expected to appear in court later this month. What a creep. What a creep climbing in people's windows. Okay, this is for Connecticut. A local storm is on the way to Connecticut. We're going to get 12 plus inches. It's expected to be a bad winter storm warning for most of Connecticut. Okay? Already now. Yeah, it's supposed to snow. It's going to be about maybe more than 12 inches or more. So we got a lot of snow, the last snow. But this time we're going to have a storm. And winter is my favorite season. It is. I don't like to be cold in my house, but I like to go outside and, the fresh air, you know what I mean? And put the make a snowball and start a snowball fight with my kids. And so I really love the snow. I like to run in and jump in and throw snowballs. And people think, well, you like the winter? Yeah, I do. Winter's my favorite season. Summer, I hate summer. All right. Thank you for watching. I appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, okay? Dede Blass, the Black Madonna, Dede Blass SoundCloud. She's out, okay? Thank you. You all have a nice evening, okay? All right. Thanks a lot. Okay. Thank you. Bye now.